Good evening, and this meeting will come to order. Welcome to the May 18th School Board meeting. Leading our pledge tonight will be our coordinator, Jenna Stitzel, who oversees our coordinated school health program. Ms. Stitzel. Thank you, and we will have you come back up here in just a few minutes. We would like to invite you to join the board in a moment of silence. Tonight, we would like you to help us remember Emily Dyer. Emily's husband, Odie, passed away last Friday, and she is administrative assistant at the Teacher Center. If you'll join us.
Mr. Blair, could I ask that you add Ms. Violet Ojino, longtime teacher at Kittrell Central, guidance counselor, Riverdale High School for many years, outstanding lady. And she passed away, I think, yesterday. And she was a terrific person.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Right. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Will bow with us. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Board members, with your permission, I would like to ask Mr. James Evans to address the board and share with us responses that he has been giving for the board with some of the inquiries that he's received here, excuse me, over the last few days. So with your permission, we'll going to break our little session in and ask Mr. Evans to speak.
I'm happy to do so. So the U.S. Department of Education issued an advisory letter last Friday to every school district in the country, and that obviously got a lot of parents talking. It deals with transgender issues and how schools can have to follow guidelines for bathrooms and locker rooms and things like that. Again, it was an advisory letter. I think I can set most parents' minds at ease. I've talked to several parents over the last few days. We have not changed any procedures as a result of that letter. We are doing the same things this week that we were doing last week before that letter came out. Our goal is to still meet the individual needs of students, and we've been able to do so and remain in compliance with Title IX and the other guidelines in a way that doesn't disrupt other students. And it's the same that we do for any student, regardless of what their need is, whether it's special education or something else. We look at those child's needs and we find out a way to serve them at school. And we've been able to do that without all this stuff that you're seeing in some of the other states and some of the national news stories. And that's the information I've been sharing with parents. And I believe that with all of them, we've concluded that their fears were erased. So I'll be happy to answer any other questions you have.
Board members, anything for Mr. Evans? Mr. Odom, anything to add?
No, there haven't been that many actual inquiries. I'm surprised. Been several.
I think I've probably talked to maybe 10 parents either on the phone or through email since Friday. You know, obviously it got a lot of attention at first because of all the national news about it and just the fears that it brings to parents. But again, we have not changed any procedures because of that letter. The governor, in fact, has issued a statement that said that, one, it's an advisory letter, it's not enforceable by law, and that it encouraged districts to continue serving the needs of students on an individual case-by-case basis and to stay in compliance with Title IX, which we are doing.
And Commissioner McQueen issued pretty much the same letter reiterating that position also. So, thank you, Mr. Evans. Okay. All right, let's move on to approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Mr. Young and Mr. Hodge. Questions, discussions? Of course, we met just last evening and did most of our heavy lifting, so we'll probably move on tonight. And of course, we have graduation starting this evening too. So, Or hearing anything, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Agenda is approved. Approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Ms. Moore and Mr. Estes.
There's
Again,
one new thing on that from last night is we did add, and it's a bid process that's put out and the public can bid on our surplus list, which you've seen probably that already, so that we do not meet again till end of June. So it'd be wise for us to go ahead and approve it, that the people that bid on it can pick up what they bid upon. So that's different from last night. They had collected it all today, so we thought it'd be a good
It's
idea to go ahead and do that.
yeah, I'd say it's probably the best thing to do it now.
And it's bid anyway, so it's,
Board members, any objection to that being added? Good, good. Again, further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda is approved. Ms. Michaels, any visitors? Okay. Now, the fun time of the meeting, Mr. Odom, number 7.
Ms. Barnes is in charge of human resources and student services. So I'm going to let her tonight, if she would, talk about a couple of awards that's been granted to people that's in her department area, so.
Coordinator. She's unable to be here this evening, but about 2 weeks ago, she was named a hometown hero as part of the Hometown Heroes Walk for Children, sponsored by the Child Advocacy Center. I believe there were 6 hometown heroes named at that function, and they specifically singled her out as a passionate advocate for homeless children. Ms. Snell has been in that position for 10 years, and she has shared the work she's done in our school system as the numbers of homeless children have risen over the years, and her accomplishments in that process and helping those children stay in our education system and receive all the services they need. So we're very proud of her for that recognition. I was able to be there that day, and it was a surprise to her. Mr. Snell was there as well, so again, well deserved for Ms. Snell, and we'll share her award with you sometime on Labor Day. I'd also like to recognize Ms. Stitzel. You all also know Ms. Stitzel as our coordinator of school health for Rutherford County. Ms. Stitzel has been in her position since 2011 as the coordinator, and she was recently recognized by the state of Tennessee as the Mid-Cumberland Region Coordinator of the Year for coordinated school health. Mr. Odom mentioned last night that we know she's been a grant recipient and collecting lots of money for Rutherford County to put back into our schools, and I think we've hit the $1 million mark as of sometime this week, correct?
Yes.
So I'm going to recognize Ms. Stitzel and congratulate her, but I want her to tell you a little bit about the walking tracks and the fitness centers and the grants that she's brought into the system, if she could have a minute to do that.
Up for approval tonight is the walking track at Smyrna Elementary, and once we have that put in, every elementary school in Rutherford County will have a walking track. So that's what I started the first year. We've been able to put in about 4 a year. And we've partnered with the Richard Siegel Foundation. They've paid for a lot of those, and so has St. Thomas Rutherford. And they've also committed to pay for walking tracks in the future at the middle schools. So they've committed $120,000 over the next 3 years to put in 3 of those walking tracks, because the price doubles now, because we're going from a 200-meter track to a 400-meter track now that we're going to middle schools, working with the older kids. And we'll also partner with Richard Siegel. So the goal is to put walking tracks at every middle school, and then we want to put outdoor fitness centers inside the tracks. So kids and families can do all types of exercise while they're at school. So, because we need to increase the time that kids are physically active while they're at school, other than just recess time. This is something like actual physical activity, exercise that they're doing, like other opportunities they can have during school day.
Again, major accomplishments. We're really very happy with the grants that Ms. Stitzel has been able to bring into our system to provide these facilities and activities, lots of activities and events and equipment to the schools, to the PE departments, and to the classroom teachers for promoting physical activity. So again, she has her grant here, and I wanted you to see that, and thank her very much for doing it. So congratulations. Okay.
Are we changing your email address to the $1 Million Woman? Would that work for you? Congratulations, that is outstanding. And is there any way you've been able to have any measurement with all that you've accomplished in putting a dent in obesity that we are facing, just like every other system?
Right, we track every year the height and weight of each student, so we're tracking the BMI. We only do every other grade, so we'll see the kids when they're in kindergarten, second, fourth, sixth, eighth, et cetera. And since I started, we have come down. It's usually only about a half a percentage point each year. We do come down a little bit each year, which is a big deal because when I started, we only had a few elementary and some middle schools. And over the years, we've added in all the middle schools, all the high schools, and it's still come down. So it's still a battle. We're still about 38%, but it's definitely come down.
Outstanding work, and again, we're so grateful for your ability to get these grants.
Well, and the data speaks for itself once you put in what the numbers are, and then especially with the partnerships with Richard Siegel and the hospital, they see the tracks and they see the kids using them, and there's nothing special required to use those tracks. Everybody can walk, so it just makes sense to put that in because it's something everyone can do. Any teacher can take their kids out for just a few minutes and walk and help the kids.
Again, and I learned a new word because of you.
Pervious?
I did not, I had no idea until that came before the board, so thank you so much. And we're very, very proud of your accomplishment. And thank you on behalf of the taxpayers, because those are things that we're not having to pay for, that you're getting grant money. So again, thank you so much.
Mom and Dad came tonight, too.
And we have mom and dad sitting back in the back. I know you're awfully proud. Probably like some grant money for yourself, I guess. Maybe she can help you out with that. So, okay. Good. Of course, number 8, Ms. Barnes, you did outstanding job on the bullying presentation last night. I was tempted to email it to Channel 2, because I think they had some kind of presentation that they were going to do either tonight or tomorrow, but they probably wouldn't want us to horn in on their presentation. But I thought what you did and the program that y'all developed is very impressive. This is a quiet board tonight.
Yes, it is, I noticed.
Number 9.
Number 9 is facilities. This is the walking tracks for various schools. Laverne Middle School, Rock Springs Middle School, Smyrna Elementary School, Smyrna Middle School, and Whitworth Buchanan Middle School have requested concrete walking tracks through grants received by Ms. Jenna Stitzel, Coordinated School Health Coordinator. The tracks will be 400 meters in length and constructed of concrete. Letters from the principals requesting permission for the construction tracks at these schools and sketches of proposed track locations are prepared by the Engineering and Construction Department and are presented. Ms. Stitzel plans to have these tracks constructed as the funds become available, with supervision from the Engineering and Construction Department. Individual bids will be presented to the board for approval in future consent agendas. Recommend approval. The motion is to approve construction of 400-meter concrete walking tracks at Laverne Middle School, Rock Springs Middle School, Smyrna Elementary School, Smyrna Middle School, and Whitworth Buchanan Middle School at no cost to the board.
Move for approval.
Second.
Holiday and Mr. Jordan. Further discussion.
I just want to highlight that concrete in Rutherford County is a significant economic force. The Middle Tennessee Concrete Management Program is a special program in the construction management department over there, and the partnership that we have with Smyrna Ready Mix and other businesses in the community, that they're significant, and so we celebrate the opportunity for students, but also our community business partners as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Holliday.
We recently employed one with our engineering department from that program.
Yep.
That's great. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Stitzel, you can take a lap around the building if you want. I guess he's already gone. Okay. Number 10, board members, you should have received an agenda from the county mayor's office for the insurance meeting on Thursday. It is that right, Ms. Barnes? Next Thursday? Okay. Not tomorrow, but the next. Okay, good. So that, there wasn't much on it from what I recall. Okay. Well, appropriate the board would get it first, I would think. All right. Mr. Holliday, I'm sorry, Chairman Hodge, anything you want to share on legislative network?
Nothing new.
Okay. And Mr. Holliday, you gave us a presentation last night. Anything further?
No, the report last night will stand.
Thank you. Okay, we're getting towards the end of the meeting. Of course, we start graduation week. I think we have 10 graduations here in the next 5 days, and many of us will be doing 8 of those unless you can find some way of cloning yourself to get to 3 different ones all on Friday night, which I'm not going to have that success. So, but we'll continue to move on. General discussion by board members. Does anybody have anything this evening?
I just want to thank Mr. Evans for clarifying on the response to the concerns of the parents. Much appreciated, because I have been contacted by several parents, and I'm glad to know that we're answering and addressing their concerns on that issue, so thank you.
It also gives us a chance that it's in the public record, since this is on television and in our minutes also. Mr. Holliday made several statements calling the legislators to action too, so thank you, Mr. Holliday. And anything else? Again, graduations begin tonight with Smyrna, and then I think Siegel is Thursday, and then we move on from there. Mr. Holliday.
I notice joining us this evening are some friends from some county band booster associations, and I appreciate their attendance. And we may have the opportunity to have some discussion with the board members after the meeting. And I've corresponded with some of these folks via email as the day went along, and I know that they're always looking out for the best interests of our students, and I'm eager to continue that partnership.
I hope I'm not putting you on a spot. Your next meeting for the coordinator is?
I think it's the 26th. Thursday, the 26th. Mm-hmm.
And board members, those committee meetings have been televised. So if you're unable to attend, so. Anything else? Again, we kind of made short work of this tonight in order we can start our graduation progression. So without any further ado, we stand adjourned.